Welcome back to this pick.
Welcome back to the show, you
We
guys.
had some technical difficulties. Phone turned off for some reason. But I was talking about Michael Lombardi. What he talks about is in the NFL in the red zone, you got to be creative to get touchdowns. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. But I want to expand a little bit. In my opinion, you got to be really creative, and you just got to have better players.
Yep.
And the Browns have really good players. For the most part, they have better players than most people. They got to be more creative, man. Coaching wise, got to have rub routes. Got to get your best players the ball. Got to run the ball in the goal line situations. When the Browns played with the Ravens last year, that last game of the season, that last little part of that drive that Baker ended up doing that pick on that little the first four plays right before he threw that pick. All four of those plays were passes. They didn't run the ball at all, and they could have. And putting too much pressure on Baker, and that's what happens, man. You put a lot of pressure on young quarterbacks, and they end up throwing stupid interceptions that shouldn't have. So, yeah, Freddie Kitchens, man, I've been really high on this team. I am a little nervous. I'm going to be honest. I am a little nervous.
Right.
He looks like he's over his head a little bit. Ryan's going to definitely give his opinion. He's definitely going to talk about that 4th and 9 draw play. Just a lot of weird, non-creative play calling. And last year, man, he was a different coach. I don't know if he's just a coordinator that got hired as a head coach and he shouldn't have, or he's a little bit over his head right now, but he's going to figure it out, or I don't know, man. There's too much talent on this team to be not playing very well. They should at least make the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to should win division or not, because that Ravens team's really good, but they ain't in a good division, man. That Steelers team's not going to be good. I don't think Rudolph's going to be the answer.
No.
Bengals are a train wreck.
Yep.
And really, outside of Chiefs and the Ravens and the Patriots, there's no real dominant team in the AFC. So, I mean, really, they don't have a lot of excuses. Everyone's got to play better. You got to figure out how to block better. Bake's going to have to figure out how to play better. Kitchen's going to have to figure out how to have his play calling better, game management better, and these penalties are killing him.
Yeah, that as well. I can't forget about that.
Not everything's his fault. Like, a lot of people blaming him for all these penalties. To a degree, it's not his fault, man. These professional athletes, they should know better. Don't go off sides, or Baker should know, hey, OBJ is not fully set, he hikes the ball, and that's a illegal formation, or penalties, like personal fouls, and other things. And yes, the refs are ridiculous. I don't know what the hell is up with the refs and the Browns, but it seemed like they call a lot of plays penalties that really ticky-tack against the Browns for some reason. I don't get it. The Browns have been terrible since I've been alive. But yeah, last year and this year, they've been really weird when it comes to officiating the Browns. For Rams, man, Gurley, they're going to figure Gurley out. He didn't play very well this game.
Didn't run him enough.
Didn't run them enough. And didn't really need him to ball out, because that defense was stifling that offense for the most part.
I'm going to get to that, though.
Jared Goff's going to play better, especially away, man. He's terrible away games. As a Rams fan, I'm like, ugh. I mean, I don't know what we could really do in the situation. So we kind of had to pay him. So we just had to do what we got to do. Hopefully get home field advantage in the playoffs and try to make another run to the Super Bowl. Aaron Donald, man, he's a monster. People are saying that he's not having a good season, don't really understand football. Just stat watch and don't really watch the games, because yeah, he's dominant. He got his stats this game, but when someone gets doubled and triple teamed, they're doing their job. They're making an impact, and he's a little hurt this game, and he still ate that line alive. So Clay Matthews playing really well. Fowler's playing really well. That defense is pretty kind of carrying the Rams right now. So, yeah, on offense for the Rams, we're going to get some things figured out. Jared Goff's going to play better away from their home. And really, the line's going to have to play a bit better, too. They're a bit banged up as well. Cooper Kupp, man, one of the best receivers in the NFL. Dude's literally unguardable.
Seems that way.
Out touchdown that he did against 38 carry. Nasty. I mean, it wasn't even that bad of coverage. It was just nasty, man. One of the best route runners in the league right now. You can argue he is best since AB's retired. Whatever he's doing.
And I think he's really good at getting broken tackles.
Yeah, that too. He's really good, man. He's in my top 10 wide receivers right now, and then he keeps on balling. He might be your top 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, if he keeps on playing like this, he should be a Pro Bowler, maybe even All Pro. So yeah, really impressed with the Rams. They need to play better. They got some things they need to figure out, but the Browns, man, they definitely need some things figured out.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna start with the Rams, man. I think my biggest complaint was I think they could have put more points on the board, and the reason why I think they could have is they just didn't run the ball enough. They were trying to throw it too much with Goff. They didn't run the ball enough, and I think if they ran that ball with Gurley and the other backs, that I think the score would have been even higher. I think it would have been eventually 38-13. Like, I think they would have put the pedal on them if they would have ran the ball more. So that's I'm kind of blaming McVay for that. Like, you got to run the ball more, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, y'all would have put the game away a lot earlier, in my opinion, if y'all did. So, if you don't want to hang in these games and keep close games, then you got to run the ball, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's my biggest complaint for the Rams. For me, like I said, I just think they would have beat them a lot more and wouldn't even be a close game if they would have balanced out their offense a little bit more. So, if I'm McVay, man, if I'm a guy that he listens to and that you could buzz in his ear, I would buzz in his ear. Like, you got to run the ball a little bit more, man, and not put so much on Goff. He did throw 2 pretty bad picks as well. So, yeah, man, I think they need to run the ball more. Cooper Kupp is special. I mean, I don't even know what to say, man. He went from a really good slot receiver to being the number 1. Like, he's the number 1 receiver, easily. Robert Woods, he's been playing all right, but not as good as he was last year. So, Cooper Kupp's definitely been that guy, man. And I think you need to continue to feed that man the ball, which is they have been, that's one thing I am happy that they're doing is feeding him the ball, because he just, like Adam said, he just seems like he's unguardable, man. So that was your one star, but you needed that other star, which was run the ball more. I think if they did that, they would have smushed the Browns, to be honest with you. But yeah, there ain't much to say about that offense. They did their job for the most part. Defensive wise, they did their job as well, man. Just harass and bake all day. Aaron Donald, man, he's just a freak of nature. Like Adam said, he wasn't even fully healthy, but you wouldn't be able to tell, man, the way he played that night. Granted, that offensive line is terrible, but still, you can't take the credit away from that man or any of the rest of that defense. Mm-hmm. They were playing well, so yeah. To the Browns, I mean, geez, where do I start? Good defense, I will say that. Good defense.
That's what I didn't get to. The defense played really well.
Turnovers, they did their job there. Their best player on defense, Garrett, he did his job, getting a sack fumble.
Yeah.
So, their defense did solid. It's just this offense, man, with Freddie Kitchens calling the plays. I haven't been liking that. That's probably my biggest issue is how he's been playing calls, how he's been managing things. It's just to me he doesn't seem like a head coach. He just doesn't. I hate to say it. I would love for him to work out, but I just don't think it's going to. Unless he could flip the script, maybe that'd be great. But these last 3 games, he just does not look like the head coach that they need. Yeah, that 4th down and 9, I have no idea what he was doing. You got to take the points in that situation.
Or punt the ball.
Yeah. Like, pretty much at that point, you need to think with your head, and I don't feel like he was doing that.
I thought they were just trying to get someone off sides.
Yeah.
And, or just take a delay and punt the ball, but
they hiked the
ball.
And didn't they run it?
Yeah, it was a draw.
Yeah, why would you run that? Like you 3rd and 9,
so,
maybe 4th and 2, maybe you run the ball.
So in the last 13 years that they've really been keeping track of a lot of things, no one's done that. Like, no one's ran a draw play on 4th and 9. It's like first time it's ever done that
You know, sometimes
since they've been keeping track like 13 years ago.
right. You know, sometimes in football, I understand trying to get one up and trick somebody, but normally you do that on a punt or a kickoff, not a 4th and 9.
Or third down.
Yeah, not a 4th and 9, and you're needing that first down. So that was definitely one of my biggest moments of the day.
And did he think it was 3rd and 9? Which if he did, that's not a good thing.
God, that's bad. That's even worse.
That's even worse because
you're not knowing your downs.
Yeah, so I don't know, man.
Oh, that was just a mind-boggling call. I don't know. You know, going for it for 4th and 9 is a big no anyway. But running the ball on a 4th and 9, that's a huge no. I don't get it what he's doing there. And then the whole final possession for them was just a wreck. Didn't run the ball. Didn't get 2 of his best receivers in any type of open.
They did really good until they got to red zone.
Yeah, they leading up to the red zone, they got there. They were driving the ball really well, but once they got to that point, it just felt like Kitchens just fell apart. He just went, what do I do?
Yeah.
You know, you didn't get your best receiver, Beckham, nothing. Okay, let's just say they're double teaming them. You got Juice, so they didn't set up nothing for Juice.
I mean, they did try to throw it to him, but 2.
Yeah, but I don't think it was a good setup. That's my problem.
That's kind of like what I was talking, like not creative enough. And 2, at the end of the day, man, you got a Jimmy, you got a Joe. Give them opportunity. Yeah. Like OBJ is one of the best receivers.
Beckham is one of those receivers that can go snatch.
And really, no one on that secondary is better than Beckham. Not even remotely on his level. Yeah. So even if he's getting double, give him opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, if you really think about it, the last throw he made, which is off back foot, retarded throw. Wouldn't you rather have Beckham try to catch that ball than anybody else? Come on, man. Yeah. And then, so that was just a terrible last possession of the game for him. That was just terrible. And let me just get to the rest of the mess that they are. Penalties, like he mentioned, they got to cut that crap out. These guys need to know the snap counts. They need to know, like Adam said, when people are set or not.
Personal fouls.
Yeah, the offensive line is just terrible. They need to, I don't know, fire every freaking lineman and get a new one. Right. Start completely over.
Which that's on John Dorsey, man. Right. That's on Kitchens a little bit as well, but that's on John Dorsey.
Yeah.
That's roster construction. Even though
and they weren't double teaming Donald enough.
No, like double teaming him every play.
You got to.
Every play.
I hate to say it, but you got to.
You essentially, when it comes to Aaron Donald, you got to do the MJ role. Double him, make someone else beat you.
Yep.
Make someone else get off a single block.
Yeah, he's just too good to keep single covered. Yeah. I don't care what team you are either. It could be any team. Yeah. You pretty much got to double team him every time. This is gonna hurt because I love Bake, but Bake is not playing like Bake should. He is scrambling out of pockets when he shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. Granted, at times I don't blame him because his line is so bad that he's spooked. So, but still, he does need to cut that out. You're a professional player. You don't need to be doing that. And 2, he scrambles to his left all the time.
Right.
Is it?
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Okay. Scrambles to his right way too much. And one thing that I was telling Adam off camera was teams are gonna review that in film and notice that. And they're just gonna start going to the right now. Once you go to the right, they're gonna blitz from the right, get you, and then you're just gonna get smushed. So, yeah, man, it is. This is why one big point is it is not one person that is fault for this. It is the entire team. Outside of defense, I'll give it to defense has been playing great all year. I have to say.
OBJ.
Yeah,
he's
been playing good, but the rest of this team, from coaching staff to the players, it's a mess, man. And I think one big problem was all this off the field off season hype is, I hate to say it, but it ruined this team. I think everybody and the team, everybody outside, fans, media, and I think the team themselves got themselves too hype, and they're just overlooking themselves, man. They're just trying to, I feel like Kitchens is just trying to be too good with what he does, and it's actually hurting him. And yeah, man, these Browns got things to figure out. Chris Carter earlier, we watched a video of him. He kind of is hitting the panic button on them. I'm not quite hitting the panic button yet. My finger's there. It ain't there yet. But if these next two games they keep playing like this, I'm gonna hit that button because their schedule's not getting any easier. Like Adam said, the Ravens are a really solid team. Even though they lost, they're still a good team because they lost to a good team. So they do, man. These next two games is going to determine a lot for me for the rest of this season. And if they don't get things figured out in these next couple games, I'm going to hit that panic button, and I'm going to hit it fast, and I'm going to say, get Kitchens out of there. Because, yeah, if he doesn't flip things around, because that's the main meat of the situation is you're the head coach. You got to get these things figured out, and if you don't, then it's just going to go downhill.
They got the Ravens, the 49ers,
the
Seahawks,
and then the Patriots. Yeah.
So they could be.
They can lose all those games.
Yeah, they could be 1-6.
Yep. They can lose all those
and
games.
Their season's over.
Because the Niners are looking good this year. The Seahawks, they're good. They're not great, but still, they can lose to them too. So
they're better than the Browns been so far this season.
So they literally can lose all these games if they don't get things figured out. So
and their season's over, and Kitchens can fire, dude.
Yeah. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not quite hitting the panic button yet, but I'm almost there for the Browns. But yeah, man, great win for the Rams. Like I said, Browns, they got things figured out. But yeah.
All right, that's all I got to say.
That'll do it for me. Please comment, like, subscribe. Of course, love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. See you on the next one.